So remember Thursday, when court stopped everything to argue whether Baloyi should even touch this confession? Yeah, fast forward to today, defense says go ahead, and Baloyi doesn't just continue, he pushes, straight back to that Fortuna trip, that same stop, the one in Tanzi linked to assault. Because apparently, the plan today is simple. No visible injuries, no assault. Let's see how that works out.
Thursday, the court raised an issue with us, and I'm now referring to the state and defense as to whether the state was entitled to cross-examine accused number 2 on his confession, and we were then requested to file heads of argument in this respect. However, after we had adjourned, we had consultations amongst ourselves, it is now the state and the defense, and this is one of those rare instances where both the state and the defense are agreeing that it is not necessary to file heads of argument in light of the fact that the defense concedes that the state is entitled to cross-examine the accused on the confession. More so in light of the fact that accused number 1 has already been cross-examined on his confession. And from our side, we just had a look at this one case, which is stated as Zulu and another. It's 1998 Volume 1 PCCR at page 7, where the Grand Supreme Court of Appeal to the bench where Groskop, Ninaber, and Mare held that even, and this is on page 8, paragraph F to G, even where confession was found to be admissible, it has still to be determined whether it was derived. And at G, the court noted as follows that the reliability of the confession could be proved by its contents. So, in other words, to test the reliability of the confession, reference can be made to content of the confession, and these are the issues that we then raise in the court of chambers this morning.
It is indeed so, my lord. It is great. Thank you.
I confirm the submission by the state, madam. Thank you.
Yes, madam, I do confirm the submission.
Ngizokhumbula-ke ukuthi ngolesine uma inkantolo iguqa-ke kwakunodaba-ke inkantolo eyathi-ke kufanele abameli kanye nomshushisi nabashushisi bahambe-ke bayokhuluma ngalo bese-ke masibuya-ke namuhla bazoletha-ke izethulo zabo enkantolo ukuthi umshushisi uvumelekile yini ukuthi-ke angakubuza imibuzo ngaso besitatimende lesiyana sokugonyuluka usetshela inkantolo-ke umshushisi ukuthi-ke lana-ke kuyeko kwabakhona-ke ukuhlangana phakathi kwabo kanye nabameli base-ke bonke-ke bayavumelana noma-ke bakhuluma-ke into eyodwa ukuthi-ke umthetho uyavuma-ke noma uyavumela abashushisi ukuthi-ke isitatimende lesiyana bangakuhloma imibuzo ngaso ngoba lokho futhi kwenzekile-ke nakuyena umsolwa wokuqala uyibuze ukuthi abuze imibuzo ngaso. Manje-ke bakhuluma okodwa abashushisi kanye futhi nabameli ukuthi cha ayikho into engahambelani noma engahambisani nomthetho uma benza kanjalo. Understood. Sikhumbuzeke mnumzana Ntanzi ukuthi usengaphansi kwesifungo.
Mr. Ntanzi, you recall that on Thursday when we adjourned, we had traversed the events at Carltonville, Sibaya Gold, Sibaya. And we were at the point where Brigadier Linda had finished speaking to you.
Uzokhumbula-ke ngolwesine uma-ke inkantolo ikhupha ukuthi-ke sasikhuluma-ke ngodaba lwasesibanye eCarltonville nokuthi-ke kwakuyisikhathi la khona-ke uBrigadier Gininda eseqedile ukukhuluma nawe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that correct that Brigadier Linda and Sergeant Mukola then left Carltonville?
Ngabe kuyiqiniso-ke ukuthi-ke uBrigadier Gininda kanye naye uSergeant Mufula base behamba-ke ngamagama-ke sebephuma eCarltonville?
Yebo bahamba angibazi ukuthi babeya kuphi.
Yes, they left, but I don't know where they went to.
You, Sergeant Khani, Sergeant Mabena, also subsequently left in the Toyota Fortuner.
Emva kwalokho-ke kwase nawe uSergeant Mukhane kanye noSergeant Mabena nase nihamba-ke nani ngayo iToyota Fortuner?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have already testified to this effect that you then proceeded to Gauteng and stopped at the engine garage on the 18th of June 2020 at, according to the ADL, at 18:53:54.
Ushilo ukuthi nase nihamba-ke nibuyela eGoli la enafika nama khona-ke egarage yase-engine ngokwemininingwane-ke ye-AVL isikhathi-ke la enama khona-ke kuleyo garage yase-engine kwaku-18:53 ama-second awu-54.
Yebo ngiyazi isikhathi kodwa ngingenaso angisazi.
Yes, I hear, but I did not have time, so I don't know what time it was.
We are going to show you the AVL report. To this effect. It's on page 31 of Exhibit MM in brackets 2.
So khombisa-ke lokhu esikhuluma ngako la kuyena-ke exhibit MM2.
See that?
Uyabona? Sina. Le ndawo konje mark khona. Ukuthi le number yemoto ngishaya i-registration yona. Yemoto PV47LRGP. Show ukuthi lokhu kuyini. I-date nesikhathi i-18 June 2020, isikhathi 18:53:54. Kuyasho ukuthi imoto ayidumi ishiweke. Uyabona?
Yebo ngiyakubona.
Albertine. Yes, I can see it.
Ngiyakubona noma kuncane.
Although it's very fine, but I see it.
You recall that according to your evidence, this is where a GTI arrived, as well as a Nissan hardbody.
Uzokhumbula ukuthi ngobufakazi bakho yila ekwafika khona-ke i-GTI kanye ne-hardbody imoto.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that Constable Buthelezi and Mapumulo also arrived there in those vehicles.
Nokuthi-ke uconstable nokuthi-ke angithi-ke uButhelezi noMaphumulo nabo bafika lapho ngazo imoto lezo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that you were then taken out of the Toyota Fortuner and placed in the Volkswagen GTI.
Nokuthi-ke wase ukhishwa-ke kuyona iToyota Fortuner wafakwa-ke kuyona-ke GTI.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that a Truworths plastic bag was placed over your head.
Kwase kuthathwa ke uplastic wase Truworths okuwona ke abakushupha ngawo.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were with Sergeant Mabena at the back of this vehicle when the plastic bag was placed over your head.
Ngalesikhathi ke ushupha ngawo uplastic lona ke wakwaTruworths wawuhlezi emuva kuyona imoto lena uhlezi naye uSergeant Mabena.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Constable Buthelezi was to your right. He was positioned at the rear right door and prevented you from getting out of the vehicle.
Nokuthi ke
He would push you back inside the vehicle.
nokuthi ke uButhelezi ke wayekulana ke kwesigaba lesike sangakwesokudla lesangasemuva kuyona imoto lena nokuthi ke futhi ke nake wayekuvimba ukuthi ungaphumi emotweni.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that Constable Jonathan would push the chair backwards of the or the seat, push the seat backwards, and it would get in between your legs.
Nokuthi ke uJonathan ke yena wayethi ke ahlehliseke isihlalo lesi sangaphambili ke ukuthi ke singenelana ke phakathi kwe noma singene ukuthi sikuvimbeke noma singene la phakathi kwazo inyawo zakho uma ngaba esihlehlisa esibuyisa umuva ukuthi size kuwena uJonathan.
Yeah, ukuthi ngingakhona ukuphuma.
Yes, preventing me from going outside.
Now, your evidence is that after this incident at the engine garage, the cars then left the engine garage.
Manje ke ubufakazi bakho buthi ke emva kwaso ke isigameko lesi esenzeka lesaqeda ukusisho ke lapha engine zabe imoto seyihamba ke lapho engine.
Yeah, angiyibonanga indlela zayihamba zayigubhile khona lapha phakathi angazi ukuphi.
Yes, but I don't know where exactly where the cars were traveling. I just saw them moving there, but I don't know where exactly.
But before that, you were taken from the Volkswagen GTR and placed back in the Toyota Fortuner.
Kodwa ke phambi kwalokho khipha ke kuyona base bekubuyisela kuyona iFortuna.
Yeah, sebeqedile kuba bekwenza.
Yes, once they were done with what they were doing.
Now, your counsel asked you during your evidence in chief on the 10th of February 2026 at page 29, line 1. Your counsel asked you as follows, Mr. Ramsepili, did you have any physical injuries? This is now after the alleged assault at the engine garage. Then you responded as follows, they never assaulted me on my body. It was only the plastic and I was just trying to get out, fighting them off.
Wase ubuzwa ke ummeli wakho ke ngenkathi ke wethu kuyena kummeli wakho ubuza imibuzo kwakungazo i10 February kuwona lonyaka lona ke ku page 29 ingabe ke walimala yini kwakhona yini ukulimala bonakalayo okwabangelwa ke ikona ukushaywa lokho uma ubheka ke wena wathi abazange angishaye emzimbeni kwakuplastic kuphela mina ke ngizama ukuthi ke ngilwe ngiphume kuloko.
Yeah, ungasho njalo.
Yes, that's what I said.
Bese kuba yilona wangishaya ngepama ngathi angibonanga ukuthi ubani ongishaya ngepama ungishaya ngifaka uplastic.
I then further said that there was this one that smacked me with an open hand, but I couldn't see as to who that was because when that person did that, the plastic was over my head.
Kodwa ngendlela ngangihlele ngayo kuyakhomba ukuthi ngangishaywa umuntu ophambi kwami ngoba uMabhena wayephezulu bekhomba ukuthi ngangishaywa lo wayephambi kwami uJonathan.
But the manner in which I was seated, it was indicative of the fact that the person that smacked me or assaulted me was the person that was seated in front of me, based on how I was seated, because Mabhena is the one that held the plastic over my head.
But with reference to the question that was asked by your counsel as to whether you sustained any physical injuries, your response was that they never assaulted you on your body. Are you then saying that there were no physical injuries?
Kodwa-ke ngokumayelana nombuzo wawubuzwa ummeli wakho ukuthi-ke ingaba kwakhona yini ukulimala okwakukhona la kuwena emzimbeni wathi abakaze bakushaye emzimbeni ukusho ukuthi lokho-ke la emzimbeni wawungalimele.
ayikho into abangishaya ngalapha emzimbeni masisesegaraji.
There's nothing that they assaulted me with on my body whilst we were still at the garage.
But you've just said that you were hit with an open hand.
Kodwa-ke uqeda ukusho manje ukuthi washaywa ngempama.
Masithi emzimbeni sikhuluma la ubuso lobo umzimba nobuso indawo ehlukene lezo.
When we refer to the body, this is what we are referring to, the witness pointing to the body itself. Here, this is the face, so these are two different parts.
On the face where you slept, were there any injuries?
Ebusweni la owashaywa khona ngempama, kwakhona ukulimala.
Ukulimala kwami Nkosi enkantolo ukuthi ngizwe ubuhlungu phela ngiyabuza ubuhlungu umuntu mayengifaka uplastic ekhanda ngoba umoya ngutholi angudotsi umoya khona ipain la ibuhlungu lo nto.
An injury or being injured to me, my lord, is like me feeling the pain, because when someone puts a plastic over me, my lord, I'm unable to breathe. So that is a pain to me. So that is feeling a pain.
But the fact of the matter is that there were no physical injuries anywhere on your body and the face.
Kodwa-ke emzimbeni nasebusweni akukho la khona kwabonakala khona ukuthi la ulimele nokulimala onako noma la akukho ebusweni nasemzimbeni.
Ngangizobona ubani isikhathi simnyama ngoba la kumnyama.
Who would have been able to see me because it was dark?
Ngoba ngisho namanje bangatshana le personal le SAPS mangithwala ngifaka uplastic la phambi kwakho akunosibazo siyobheka uyangibona ngiphethe ukuthi ngijuluke mhlambe ngiphumelele ogazi emakhaleni or ngijuluke ngikhiphe lo mafinyela emakhaleni khomba kodwa nomthetho ayenza ke ebuhlungu.
Even now, if I were to request one of the members of the SAPS just to put a plastic over me, there won't be any visible injuries. I would be sweating, there would be blood coming out, or there would. But just to see, or sorry, just to indicate that what this person is doing to me is painful.
Yes, but there were no visible injuries, is it correct?
Kodwa-ke kwakungekho ibada ukulimala okubonakalayo, kwakungekho okubonakalayo okuyinkomba ukuthi lo muntu lona ulimele, kwakungekho into ebonakalayo ethi ulimele.
Nkosi enkantolo ngangenaso isibuko sokuyibuka.
My lord, I had no mirror to look at or to see myself.
And that's where things start getting interesting. Because the AVL records, they confirm the stop clean, no dispute. Baloyi probably feels like he's building something solid here. But the problem is, that exact moment he's confirming is the same moment Ntanzi uses to anchor his claim of assault. Plastic bag over the head, held in place, slapped while he couldn't even see who was hitting him. Now instead of dismantling that properly, Baloyi goes for the shortcut. But you said you had no visible injuries, and that's where the risk comes in. Because legally, that's not the winning point he thinks it is. Assault doesn't need bruises. It doesn't need blood. It just needs force or intimidation. And the minute coercion enters the picture, even slightly, that confession he's pushing so hard starts to shake. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. This isn't new to Baloyi. He knew about these allegations. He even indicated that at one point he would assist Ntanzi in opening a case. So today, when he pushes like this, it doesn't just challenge Ntanzi. It raises questions about the state's own awareness. And now the court is left with one unavoidable question. Was this confession freely given or forced out? Because once that question sticks, everything changes. So yes, the defense gave him the green light. But right now, Baloyi isn't just cross-examining. He's opening a door that might not close. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. And honestly, this channel is growing because of you. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't miss these real-time courtroom breakdowns. If this video gave you clarity or a new perspective, like it, share it, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them. Let's push to 8K together. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm Skybridge. Goodbye.